everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Waters and I'm an author, and I am sitting down getting cozy with a cup of tea behind my festive fireplace behind me, and getting ready to talk to you about my book series Glendale Hall. So I've just finished writing what will be book 4 in the series, so I thought it was a really nice kind of time to sit down, chat to you guys about my books and my writing and just being an author really. So I asked for some questions on Instagram and you guys sent me quite a few, so I've narrowed it down to 10 because otherwise this video is going to get super long because you know how I can chat. So yeah, I really hope you enjoy this little insight into my books and writing and being an author. Hit the thumbs up button if you're excited, and also if you're a Glendale Hall reader, I really hope you're excited to hear all the news about book 4. So yeah, get comfy, get cozy, and let's get chatting. So I'll just do a super quick overview into the Glendale Hall series for people who are new here, or if you need a little refresher. So far we've got 3 books in the Glendale Hall series. Book 1 is Coming Home to Glendale Hall, which is set at Christmas time. Then we've got New Beginnings, which is in the summer, and Hopeful Hearts at Glendale Hall, which is another Christmas book. Now, each book is written about a different main character, so they can be read on their own. You don't need to read the whole series. But as a series, there's a continuing storyline and there's similar characters and settings and stuff. So yeah, if you'd like to read all 3, then you'll get like an ongoing view of Glendale. But yes, each one can be read on its own as well. So Glendale Hall is basically a large Scottish estate in the Highlands, and it's a really old big house, and it's kind of almost a character in its own right now. So most of the scenes and storylines are set in the house, so either featuring people who live in the house or friends and family of the people in the house. And always there's lots of scenes that happen on the estate as well. And so far it's about 3 different women. So book 1 is about a woman called Beth, and she comes home to Glendale Hall for the first time in 10 years after running away when she was a teenager because she was pregnant, and she went to live in London for 10 years, and she comes back for Christmas because her grandmother is really ill. And yeah, that's how the story starts. And then book 2 is about her friend called Emily, who she was friends with in London and who comes to Glendale Hall for a very special event. And yeah, things arise in her life that means she spends more time than she planned at Glendale Hall. And yes, there's a dishy minister to look out for in that one. And then book 3 is about Heather, who is Beth's childhood friend. They reconnect when Beth comes home to Glendale Hall, and she finds herself living on a farm in this book, which is not where she expected to be, as she's a librarian, a girl who loves wearing heels and shopping in town. And so yeah, she's kind of thrown into this crazy new world, and it's all about how she copes with that really. So yeah, those are the 3 books that are out now. Coming Home to Glendale Hall and Hopeful Hearts at the moment are 99p on Kindle, and you can also get them in the works for £2, or part of the 3 for £5 fiction deal there as well, if you are looking for a bargain this Christmas. As I said in the beginning of the video, I've just finished writing what will be book 4 in the series, and that is going to come out in summer 2021. I think it's going to be June, the publication date, and I am so excited. I've just finished writing it. I'm going to send it to my editor, so I've still got the kind of edit process to do. But I really love this story, and I was going to say who the character is, but actually one of your questions is that. So I feel like I should just make a start on the questions. How cute is this notebook I've got? To be creative means to be in love with life. I thought that was pretty apt for today. So yes, so I asked for questions, and I picked the first 10 basically to get through today. And lots of questions are about book 4 and the series as a whole, and writing and publishing and stuff. So I think I'll work through them, and if there's anything else I haven't told you by the end, I can do that separately. Okay, so question number 1. What do you love writing? Who do you love writing about the most? This is such a tough question actually, because I feel like all the characters are like, put that there so you can see them kind of, are like my babies basically, and I don't know, they feel like not babies, but like they feel like they've become people that I know. I really enjoyed writing about Heather because I feel like she's the most like me. She's a real worrier, she's really anxious, and also it's really fun to kind of write about like living on a farm because it's so out of my comfort zone. I think Beth will always have a special place in my heart because she was the character that started it all off, and I love how bossy she is. I love how she just wants everyone to be happy and wants to like make everybody happy. In terms of like other characters, I love Izzy, who's Beth's daughter. She's such a bookworm and she just reminds me of me as a child. And I love Angus, who's like a grumpy old farmer. Okay, I'm going too many characters now, aren't I? And Brody, the dishy minister, I love him. I love them all. Have I got to pick one? Maybe Beth, because she started it all. And yeah, I just love her, and she weaves throughout the whole series, and she kind of is like, I guess she's like the matriarch of the series, so she brings everybody together, and yeah, I really like Beth. So, right, these are some questions about book 4 then. So who is the character you're going to focus on in book 4? So I'm so excited to reveal that the character is Anna. Now, we've mentioned Anna twice before in the series for eagle-eyed readers. So in book 2, New Beginnings, we meet Brody, the minister of Glendale. And he talks about having a little sister. And he talks about her because she is the reason why he became a vicar, a minister. And basically, she was in a really horrific car accident when she was a teenager. Or when he was a teenager, but he's quite a few years older than her. And, they thought she was going to die. And he really prayed to God to spare her. And, he believes that she was saved by God, and that led to him wanting to become a minister, basically. And I don't think he mentions her much more than that, only that she kind of lives away, basically. And then in book 3, we kind of, in Hopeful Hearts, we hear more about her because Beth is looking for a housekeeper. So the housekeeper for years and years has now retired, and she lives in a cottage now on the grounds of Glendale Hall. And they need a new housekeeper. And they kind of mention Anna as potentially somebody who might want to come and help out. But, Brody says she doesn't like to settle. She moves around a lot, and he's just not sure she would ever want to come to Glendale. But in book 4, we open with an event. Yes, I'll call it an event that basically makes Anna agree to come to Glendale. So she finally takes Brody up on his offer and comes to Glendale to help out just for the summer because she does not like to settle in places. So she comes just for the summer to help out and help look after Glendale Hall. And so, yeah, we see a very different character for book 4. She's a very different type of person, I think, to Beth, Emily and Heather, in that she sees herself as a free spirit. She sees herself as quite fearless. She likes to travel around a lot, whereas those three just love being in Glendale. And she is quite haunted by her past. So whereas Brody sees her car accident as something that pushed him into his vocation and kind of set him on a good path in life, she feels the exact opposite. And she feels this immense pressure from surviving the car accident to kind of live an amazing life. And the problem is, when you're pressured to live an amazing life, do you end up living an amazing life, or do you end up living a life that isn't really what you want? So she is a little bit mixed up. She's a little bit lost. She's more of a kind of party girl than the other girls in Glendale. And she basically, is going to shake things up in Glendale a bit. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet her. I can't wait. I think she's going to inject some fun, some feistiness, some life into Glendale, and Glendale is going to, as it has for all these 3 women, it's going to completely change her life in unexpected ways, in ways that she can never imagine. So excited for you guys to read it. The next question, what are you most excited about for book 4? Oh no, I've kind of answered that, haven't I? I'm excited for you guys because, like I say, she's a different kind of character and she does shake things up in the book. Okay, I know what I'm most excited for. So there is a scene in the book, what can I tell you without giving anything away? Okay, there's going to be a stag and hen do. And I'm really excited for you guys to read it because it is, it was a really fun few scenes to write because it brings all the characters together and it kind of changes all their relationships. But also the event was just super fun to write. I'm really hoping it doesn't get edited out in the editorial process. You guys are going to look back on this video when the book comes out and be like, what was she talking about? Because it wasn't in there. Fingers crossed it stays in. I'm really excited for you guys to read that scene. But mostly I'm excited for you guys to meet Anna because, like I say, I think she's different and I think she's quite a vulnerable character, and I really just like she has a lot of layers to her. She's quite complex and I really liked writing her. She was like really fun to write about. So I really hope you guys are gonna like connect with her on the page because I feel like I really connected with her as I was writing her. Okay, I'm worried I'm taking too long on these questions and this video is gonna be super long. Okay. Favourite scenes written so far? You guys ask really tough questions. Okay. I love the end scene in this book. Writing that scene was something I've always wanted to write. I don't want to give it away in case you haven't. Okay, all I will say is it's an airport scene. And if, like me, you watch a lot of romantic films and TV shows and read books, there's often like an airport scene, isn't there, in those kinds of things. And I love those. And I think because I just feel like they just don't happen in real life. Do they? I don't know. Let me know. Has this ever happened to you? So I just like the kind of... I like the big grand gestures. So I love the airport scene in Glendale Hall, the Coming Home to Glendale Hall, book 1. In book 3, I really like the scene on the trail towards the end. Again, I don't want to give it away because it's different to the conventional way that scene usually plays out. And I liked the twist on it, and I liked the fact that it was the sort of culmination of Heather's journey. I think you guys will know what I mean. So basically it's something that usually a man does, but Heather does it. Love it. In book 2, what was my favourite scene? I think I just loved pulling Emily's bakery all together. So I loved kind of visualising that bakery in my head, and the end scene where they have like the launch for it. I really liked it because I could literally picture it, like I was decorating it with them in my mind, and all the cakes and everything. I loved that. So I picked a scene in each book. Is that okay? I think so. I can't pick an overall favourite scene. That's just too hard, guys. Too hard. Okay. Describe your typical writing day. So I have done a video previously which is called How I Write 4,000 Words in a Day. So you might want to look at that for like a more in-depth kind of discussion about how I write my books. But for me, a typical writing day, and this is when I'm doing like a first draft, because I feel like when I edit it's slightly different. Well, I'll quickly talk about that. So when I write in a first draft, I try to get to the laptop about 9 a.m. Because I'm most productive in the morning. When it gets to like late afternoon, I lose all focus and I'm pretty rubbish, if I'm honest with you guys. So I tend to write solidly from like 9 till lunchtime, take a break for lunch, maybe do like an hour or so, and then I lose focus and I do social media and things like that instead. So that is a typical writing day for me. So yeah, I'll be honest, by about 3 o'clock, I tend to like step away from the laptop. It's just too much for me. I can't concentrate for longer than that. So I try to get all my words done in that period of time. When I'm editing, it's slightly different because you haven't got like a set goal to like write. I mean, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I need to definitely edit this whole chapter. And it depends, because sometimes you have more or less edits than usual. But again, I'm definitely the same. By the time it gets to the afternoon, I can't concentrate, especially when you're doing like really detailed like spelling and grammar checks and stuff. Like I have to take frequent breaks or else my mind just like turns to mush. So yeah, it's morning for me. That's when I'm most productive, and that's when I'm at my desk and getting all the words out as much as I can. Will you set a book in autumn as it's your favourite season? Oh, this is so nice. So basically, like I said, Coming Home, this is not in the right order, is it? Coming Home is set at Christmas, New Beginnings is set spring, summer, and Hopeful Hearts is at Christmas again. So it's difficult because in terms of like the publishing cycle, my books are very much like summer, Christmas. I mean, I guess I could do the Christmas book with like a build up in autumn. I think it's just publishing and how books are kind of marketed. People are very fixed on like summer and winter. I do love autumn though, so Maybe I'll squeeze some autumn in the future. That'd be nice. Some nice pretty leaves changing and stuff. I think in my debut book, so actually just to quickly say, so that's my Glendale Hall series, but I have actually written 2 standalone novels. Summer at the Kindness Cafe, which is set in summer, and The Second Love of My Life, and that spans from kind of summer to Christmas, so there are some autumn scenes in that if you want some autumn scenes from me. Let's get all the plugs in today. Just buy all my books. Okay, what is the most frustrating part of the writing/publishing process? Ooh, this is a good one. I think it's slightly different now to how it was. I think with writing, for me, the most frustrating part is how long it takes to write a book. So like, I have stories and scenes and words in my head, but the time it takes to type it all out frustrates me. And sometimes I type so quickly, I have so many spelling and like word errors in it. Like it's just, so it takes me then a long time to fix those. So that's frustrating for me. I just wish I could get it like all out on the page straight away perfectly. I think with the publishing process, it's a bit different now. So basically when you start out, like there is a lot of waiting in publishing. So actually maybe I'm quite an impatient person because I get frustrated that I can't write the books really quickly, and then I get frustrated about the waiting in publishing. So yeah, if you are not a patient person, you are going to struggle in this industry. So basically there's a lot of waiting. So like if you submit a book to an agent and publisher, you're going to have to wait for them to get back to you. Then if if you're going on submission, you've got to wait for edits each time. So you've got to wait for structural edits, then copy edits for proofreading. You might ask a question and you have to wait for an answer. You have to wait to see your cover. Like, there's just a lot of waiting in publishing. And I think more so like when I first started it out, when I had more of like a traditional publishing deal, so you write like 1 book a year, it's quite slow. There's big gaps of waiting. Now I do 2 books a year with Hera. It's a faster process, so actually it's not as much waiting. So it is a bit different now. So I think definitely, yeah, long gaps where you don't hear from publishers because there's things going on behind the scenes, or there's a long lead time to when your book comes out. So yeah, waiting and maybe not as frequent communication as you might like. Like, I don't know, I feel like all authors, we're all quite neurotic people, I think. Like, we're worriers, and well, our books are our babies, so we care a lot. So I think sometimes if you're not getting like quick feedback or not getting much back from your publisher, that can be quite frustrating. So I think sometimes it helps to sit back and realise you're not the only author they're publishing. Do you know what I mean? So they've got a busy workload, and you can't always be the top priority. But obviously to you, your book is your top priority. Do you see what I mean? So there's a disconnect sometimes with that. So I would say that's the most frustrating part of the publishing process, definitely. Is Glendale based on anywhere real? No, it's not. Although I have since found out that there is a place called Glendale on Skye, the Isle of Skye, and there's also a Glendale in California. So I didn't know, like I did do a Google and I couldn't find anything at the time, but apparently those places exist. But it's not based on them, I'm afraid. It's yeah, I mean, I guess like I live in quite a small town, and but no, I don't think it really is just like in my head now, Glendale, like it just exists as this different place. Like I wish it was real. I wish we could all go there together. Wouldn't that be nice? A little day trip to Glendale, I'd like that. How do you come up for names for the characters? Are they based on people you know? Broadly, no, although I did actually pinch some family names along the way. So, but not because I don't know why. I think they just fitted the person in a way. But for the series as a whole, I have done some searching on traditional Scottish names and like the most popular names in Scotland. Just to give it a little bit of an air of authenticity, I suppose. So, like Drew and Angus and Rory and yeah, names like that. I found, like, searching popular names in Scotland. It becomes harder, definitely, as the series progresses, to think of new names, because actually, like, in Glendale 4, I started calling a character Emma, and I was like, that is really close to Emily, and I was getting confused. So I've since changed that, because yeah, it just didn't work. So yeah, it definitely becomes harder, and at some point I might just do a shout out on social media, please name this character for me. Okay, we're on the final question. I'm sorry if this has been really long, guys. Did the idea just come to you, or do you have to work hard for it? So I'm not sure if they mean the idea for Glendale as a whole, or Glendale 4, or just in general. So again, it depends. So it's a bit of a cop-out answer. So for Coming Home to Glendale Hall, the idea did just kind of come to me one day. I thought, oh, I'd really like to write about a woman coming home for Christmas after she hasn't been home for like a really long time. I love that as a concept. So that came quite easily. And then when my publisher said they wanted to have a sequel, because it was only ever written as a standalone book, really, I had mentioned that she had a good friend in London called Emily. So straight away I was like, oh, I wonder what Emily's story is. And then I thought, she's in London though, how do we get her to Glendale? So I had to come up with a reason for her to come to Glendale. And then through books 1 and 2, Heather was a character. So she was Beth's old childhood friend, and they reconnect when Beth comes home. And so she's in both books. So when it came to book 3, I was like, well, Heather is the choice, isn't she? But I must admit, I really struggled with book 3. I think because, stupidly, if I could go back and do it again, I wouldn't. I maybe put Heather too far along in her story that I wanted her. So she had already met somebody and fallen in love, which tends to be kind of the story in women's fiction. But I thought this is actually interesting. It's a chance to do something a bit different. Like, what happens kind of after the happy ever after? So that's kind of what book 3 is about. And so actually, I really like how that's kind of different to the norm. But at first I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then, as I said, book 4, I was thinking, who should I write about? And I was thinking about all the characters mentioned, or I was thinking, should I just make up a new one? I was like, it's starting to become a bit of a commune, everyone moving to Glendale Hall for no reason. And then I thought, well, who's got an intriguing story? And straight away I was like, Brodie's sister. That is the obvious choice. And I don't know, if there was going to be another Glendale Hall book, there is a character in book 4 that I am intrigued by. I think that's what I need to come up with an idea, is a character that I'm intrigued by, that I think has got like more of a story to them. And once I find that person who I think, oh, they've got a story, then it's much easier to come up with the idea, I think. So I suppose I start with the character and work from there, really. So I actually found Heather the hardest so far. So yeah, each time it's been different, really. But book 4, yeah, I knew Anna had like a really good story and a really good like journey to take her on. So actually, she was quite easy. And hopefully, if we are going to do more Glendale Hall books, and we will if you guys still love them and read them and buy them, then I think I know who it might be about. So that's exciting. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. Okay, I feel like this video has been super long. I'm really sorry. If you've watched it all, thank you so much. Thank you so much to everyone who submitted a question. I'm sorry I only got through 10. We'll have to do another one soon. Maybe when I hit a milestone, like 500 subscribers. Please hit the subscribe button. Then maybe we could do another Q&A. But yes, let me know if you have any more questions or comments in the comments section. And yeah, please do subscribe if you enjoyed this and want to see more videos like this. To sum up then, Glendale Hall is finished. Glendale Hall 4 is finished and it's going to go to my editor. It's going to come out in June 2021. I'm not going to reveal the title in this video because I feel like I want to wait until we've got a cover and do like a big reveal with you guys. But I'm really excited, and yeah, I hope you guys are too, and I hope you love the Glendale Hall series as much as I do, and I just really hope you'll stick with me on this journey and enjoy book 4 as much as you've enjoyed the first 3. So yes, thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry if I've waffled. I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Let me know what you think, and yeah, please do come back for more videos, and I'll see you soon. Take care, guys. Look after yourselves. Bye.